Hi, I'm Kat Bell, and today I'm doing a sort of kind of thrift store makeover. This is a desk sorter, and it did not come from a thrift store. My aunt's friend gifted it to her, and she cannot say no to more stuff. So we have this now, and it is the perfect size actually for patterns. And since it is just plain wood on all sides, I decided to zhuzh it up with some sewing paraphernalia. And first things first is a sketch. For this project, I decided to keep a lot of the wood since it did have a nice grain to it, and then just adding a little sewing element here and there. So for the front, it was sort of an embroidery theme, and the side is the tomato chili pin holder thing and thimble. And I did mess up a bit, and it wasn't quite centered how I wanted it. And this is why I'm doing a sketch first and not just going in with the paint. And for this other side, it's a needle and thread. And finally, a sewing machine on the back. And the sewing machine style is based off one of my aunt's bags that she has, and it has these little sewing machines on it. There's like a pink and a black one. And I went with the design of the black one, and I'm doing green thread throughout the project. Well, once I add the color, it will be green thread, just to tie in with the kind of floral embroidery from the front, and also since it's my aunt's favorite color. And here I am going in with the paint. This is my first time using Poscas, so I am taking some time to activate them as I go in with each color. And like I said, I was going for an embroidery kind of theme in the front. And I have seen this technique where you sew on a button and you make it look like a flower. So you use green in a pattern that makes it look like a stalk and leaves. And then you use the thread kind of twirled around itself and then pull it through to make a kind of flower bud. And it's like a really cute technique, and I haven't really tried it in actual sewing yet, but this is kind of my artistic rendition of that technique. And I think it came out pretty good. Looks like embroidery. And here I am going into the tomato. I'm not really sure why a lot of these look like a tomato and chili, but you know, this is what we have in sewing. Got tomatoes, chilies, and hams. And yeah, I just filled it in with the Posca, and it went really smoothly. I know I wouldn't have been able to get such crisp lines with actual paint and a brush. I did have some trouble with this green, and that was kind of disappointing. But overall, pretty cute tomato. I guess the red wasn't quite dry when I went in with the green, which is why it kind of was blotchy like that. And I did touch it up with some regular paint off camera, and like even when I went over it again, it was just kind of acting weird, and it might just be kind of hard to really layer Poscas. Anyway, here I am going with the thimble, and I do have the bag for reference. It's the same kind of design as the other bag, which I did not have with me, but I did take a picture of the sewing machine for that. And I lost some footage of painting in the black, but it's, you know, just following the outline, the sketch that I did. The gold wasn't quite going on like I wanted, so I did go in with white first, and then covered it with the gold, and that made the gold pop more. The stand for the sewing machine also had some issues with paint, so I did once again go over that off screen with some regular gold paint. And it could just be that I wasn't giving enough time to dry, or maybe just didn't want to layer properly. I'm not sure, since this is my first time using Poscas, but the gold went over the black really well. It popped super great, and with only one coat, so it could be that it had more time to dry, so not really sure. But I do love this little sewing machine. It is super cute. The thread was probably one of the easiest things to do, just crisscrossing over a couple times. I did have a bit of trouble with the needle. I made it a little too thick, but it's more of a cartoony vibe anyway. It wasn't supposed to be like super duper realistic, so overall I'm still happy with how everything turned out. Okay, and now I'm just going in with the varnish, and I did varnish every little nook and cranny of this thing. So that took quite a while, and quite a lot of time between parts drying. So certain parts I could do and then let it kind of sit and do multiple sides, but other parts, like I couldn't do the side with the tomato and the side with the thread at the same time, because the one side needed to dry before I could flip it over. So that took quite a while and quite a couple coats to get that really nice sheen that I wanted. And an artwork like this must be signed, so I went ahead and put my personal logo, which is a B and a K put together and in the form of a butterfly. I designed it in undergrad for a class, and I went with that one because the Cat Bell Creates one is a little more artsy and would require a whole other sketch and probably a protractor to get the circle just right, and I wasn't about to get into all that. And here's the finished piece. I'm super happy with how it came out, and it's so shiny. I plan on keeping patterns in it, and it's going to be the patterns that I'm going to be using for future projects, and it's super cute. See you in the next one. Bye!